The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the Los Angeles Lakers. And for Los Angeles, they're not satisfied with the record over the last 10 games. Under 500 basketball, just not good enough. Looking to improve tonight. And tonight, get ready for some highlights. Two lightning-quick, high-flying clubs. Kenny, when you have teams as athletic as these, how can one side carve out an advantage?
Poise. That's it. You want to be athletic, but you also want to be level-headed. You got to have a combination of the two. You got to execute your plays, and you just don't rely on your physical gifts because that could be detrimental.
And not only that, A&B, FAE.
What's that?
Avoid mistakes, be fast and efficient.
Wow. FMB.
Where do you come up with that?
FAE?
A&B, FAE.
Okay.
Avoid mistakes.
Okay.
Be fast and efficient.
God, man, that's quick and fast and hurry.
It's going to be an exciting matchup. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
You're the first person who's ever said that.
AMB, FAE.
Live from New Orleans, 2K Sports proudly brings you NBA basketball from the home of the Pelicans. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. So for the Lakers, their last game, a loss to the Bucks.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. Agree with you there. They just didn't have it. Seemed like they were a step behind and out of sync.
Clark, good rebounding teams tonight. What makes these teams so strong, so reliable on the glass?
Well, initially it starts with good, solid defense because you're in better rebounding position when your defense isn't spread out and rotating. And then you locate players, box them out, master those basic fundamentals. And then the other thing is you pursue the ball. I mean, when it comes down to it, rebounding is about positioning and going after the ball.
And now the Lakers starting group. All runs point with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to his side. They're the backcourt. Then it's Ingram. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Kuzma in at the four-man position. There's a screen. Lopez dishes the ball. Fires the three. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins. He'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with head coach Alvin Gentry. What's the news there, David?
Well, Kevin, the crucial aspect in his mind is making things tough for them inside. He said they're a physical team, and they bring a lot of intensity. If we don't respond when they push us, we'll just get bullied all game. We're going to get down in the paint tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. That shot by Caldwell-Pope, no good. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Yep, that one goes.
You know, I really enjoy watching Cousins go to work deep inside. I mean, it feels like, to me, nobody can guard him down there.
Over to the left wing. Ball kicks to Lopez. Lakers working the ball around now. Ball with the bucket.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
It's tipped. Shoots it. No good that time. And New Orleans will come the other way. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And I love the fact that they did such a good job of really reacting to what the defense was giving them.
Nothing was forced. Smart basketball was played, and they took advantage of any weakness they saw.
Count it, good.
All heart from Caldwell-Pope there, using every ounce of strength to muscle that shot in.
Kicks it to Moore. Over Caldwell-Pope. Up again. Cousins on the follow. Cousins has got 6. And that does it for the first quarter. Pelicans ahead. They lead by 4. On New Orleans, back in a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
And through that first period, for me, their work on the glass has been the difference.
Yep, pounding away on the boards. I mean, controlling the backboards. It's been a huge difference so far.
And here is Los Angeles now. 4-point game.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Clearly, that was the overriding factor. A double-digit advantage on the boards. They just pounded them inside.
The bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Allen is out there with Nelson, and it's Miller in at the 3 slot. That's the Pelicans 5 as we get into the second quarter.
Attacking inside. Clarkson plays with a chip on his shoulder, like he's trying to prove something every night. That's not a bad way to play when you're young and up and coming.
Now here's Allen. He averages about 5 points a game. Shoots over Clarkson, and the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
That mid-range jumper is just another one of his weapons.
Well, you know, one of the things young teams typically struggle with is defense. I mean, no surprise that the Lakers have struggled in that area. A lot for them to clean up before they can battle with the big boys across the NBA.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Clark, when you take a look at the Lakers' young core, do you see the potential for a top-flight defensive team?
Well, I think their talent is more tilted towards the offensive end. Still, I think they can become better by cutting down their mental errors defensively and focusing on the defensive rebounding and getting back in transition. Those things are correctable, and I think the young Lakers will have a chance to improve in those areas.
Free throw good. Clarkson.
Really a good free throw shooter. You'd like to see Clarkson get to the line even more because of that.
New Orleans making a switch here. Clark's checked in. Second free throw, no good.
And how about the 46th pick back in the 14 draft? Jordan Clarkson has certainly exceeded expectations thus far in his career. An athletic combo guard, he's really succeeded playing at both the 1 and 2.
And, you know, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
Now, here's Clarkson. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. And, Greg, Jordan Clarkson, he has an offensive game, doesn't he?
He's able to shoot with range, and he can attack off the bounce as well. I think that enables him to kind of play on or off the ball. And I think he has a chance to be a really good two-way player in our league.
Pelicans shooting their first free throws of this game.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
And guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
Davis is really the total package, a mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
Cunningham, he's checked in for New Orleans. Holiday comes in for Nelson. And so Anthony Davis nails both of them.
Gotta like the confidence. Such an important part of making shots. Nice seeing a big man knock down free throws.
Now here's Ingram. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Lopez a screen. Ingram kicks the ball. And it's off from three-point range. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Pelicans lead by 5. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. Well, for New Orleans, Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, I like their effort on the boards because a game could come down to just a few key possessions, and extra rebounds can give you those extra possessions if you work at it.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Well, they spent a lot of time away from the basket offensively. They need to get in the paint, Ernie. Whether it's running the offense through the low post or on dribble drives, pick and rolls, get into the paint.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
Unbelievable the way he dominated that offensive glass in those first 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Guys, you've heard me say it before, but persistence pays. And it takes that kind of persistence to be a successful offensive rebounder. As a fellow glass eater, I know of which I speak. Those guys that rebound effectively don't give up on it.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Taking a look at Los Angeles. The lengthy pair of KCP and Ingram on the wing. Then it's Ball, then it's Brook Lopez, and it's Kuzma in at the 4. And Brandon Ingram, the second overall pick in 2016 out of Duke. What do you make of his rookie season?
You know, very much a work in progress. You have to remember how young he is. Didn't turn 19 until 3 months before the draft, and he's still rail thin. So he's got a chance to improve very quickly over the next few seasons as his body continues to mature.
That free throw, no good.
And really, guys, I can't put a ceiling on Ingram. I mean, with his length and his shooting stroke and work ethic, this is a guy who I think has the potential to be truly great.
Good on the second free throw. And a lot of scorers in the NBA just demand so much attention when they have the ball. Which players you think, Clark, in your eyes, gets the most attention from a defense?
Well, I mean, how about the MVP of last season, Russell Westbrook? I mean, you can't take your eyes off of him when you're watching the game and certainly when you're playing against him. And you've got to know where Steph Curry is at all times, whether he has the ball or not. He's that dangerous. And James Harden is one of those guys who's a magnet for attention as well. And you always can throw LeBron James in any conversation about most watched players or most focused on players.
Caldwell Pope kicks the ball. Lakers working the ball around now. And that one's good by Lopez.
A decent contest there by the defense, but Lopez unbothered, unfazed.
High post Cousins. Outside Holiday. Back to Cousins. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. 8 points here for Cousins.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
The pass to Ball. Here's Kuzma, guarded by Holiday. Ingram kicks to Caldwell Pope. Out left to the wing. Here's Kuzma. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And he gets it to go. Davis has got the lead up to 6 now for the Pelicans.
just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
And here's Caldwell Pope. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. More. The shot, no good. And so it's New Orleans with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
All right, guys, remember what we said now. Hey, play our basketball. We've been doing a great job. Let's keep it up, okay? Let's go now.
Alvin Gentry has found an identity that's working, and that makes everything a lot easier on both ends.
And collectively, you really need to remember what that feels like so you can recapture it if and when things start to get a little shaky. You want to be able to trust in who you are.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first three, we should be in for a treat. They got Tony Allen. Nelson is out there with Ian Clark. Then it's Cunningham. And it's Cousins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
You can tell that Cousins wants to win badly. A super competitive guy. His skill set is off the charts.
Darius Miller, he's checked in for Dante Cunningham. Hart, he's checked in for the Lakers. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. The Lakers shooting well, 50% from the floor. Screen by Bogut. Caldwell Pope with it. Here's Hart. A three-pointer, no good.
You know, to cut deficits, you got to be making smart basketball plays out there. Taking care of the ball. It's not done by hoisting up bonehead threes like that.
Miller with the ball. Now defended by Randall. Shot clock at 6. And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
Timeout called the Lakers. They're down by 11. A minute 20 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Clarkson. Here's Hart. The shot off that time. Excellent D there from Allen. Clarkson against Nelson. He feeds it to Allen. Over Hart. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for New Orleans.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And, you know, against a conference opponent, Greg, who you're going to see 4 times total on the season, a 2-0 advantage is pretty healthy.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for DeMarcus Cousins.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And here's Miller outside. Miller with another miss. And the Lakers with possession here. They have yet to put up any points here in the fourth. Nelson outside. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. AD, it looked like you guys were having some fun out there. Is there a new dynamic coming up offensively?
No, we just don't care who scored the ball. You know, the ball movement was great. Everybody's rebounding and talking. So when we play like that, it's fun to watch, you know, and everybody out there having fun, smiling, a lot of emotions. That's all we ask. That's all Coach asked for, and we did that tonight.
Good win tonight, AD. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.